Hey guys, it's Sun for Games. Welcome back for more E3 coverage, this time with Ubisoft's presentation this afternoon of Ubisoft. So, let's get right into it. Opened up with a huge surprise, at least for me, with Miyamoto from Nintendo showing off a new game and, discussing the amazing Ubisoft and Nintendo history and interaction over the years as third party and Nintendo, I don't know what you even call that. But, trying to reinforce, this has been a great partnership over the years. We'd like to make that even better. Went on for a little long. They just kind of went back and forth. It was super awkward. They had some props from the new game that they were going to showcase, and they were just like, it looked like they spent like 10 minutes trying to get like a really good picture to put in magazines and on websites and stuff. It just went on a little long, but regardless, it's always cool to see Miyamoto. The guy's amazing. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing his name right, but I've always said it that way. Anyways, so the game, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Mario and Rabbids. So the Rabbids, the rabbit-like weird thingies that Ubisoft, I guess it's their property. I wouldn't have even known that. I don't know what games they're from. I've seen them around. I'm not really sure what they're from. Are with Mario, and I swear we saw a hint of this game a while back, but still was a surprise to see it there because I kind of totally forgot about it. So it's like this tactical game, like positional, tactical, reminded me a lot of some games I didn't play. What was that one? Not Valkyrie. Damn it. You guys will tell me in the comments what it was. But very interesting style of gameplay. Very reminiscent of Mario's art style. It reminded me a lot of the newer Wii U Mario. What was that Mario game? 3D Mario World, I guess it was called. Very similar art style, but it showed some of the combat and how it would work. It's very tactical. With your three characters, you kind of move them around and position. They can interact with each other for to get, how do I describe this? Watch the video because they can do it way better than I do. Mario can slide into another character who will help launch them even further to help kind of encourage better positional movement amongst your own team, and it looked cool. It looked neat. I don't really know what to expect. I'm not sure if it's kind of time to let it by immediately because being Mario, the story is probably kind of loosely told through facial expressions and cuteness, and it did look super cute. But for that kind of tactical, combat, it did look fun though. It looked very fast paced, which a lot of those kind of games aren't. So this could be a nice shift for that and getting a whole new group into that genre. So it was neat. The whole way they presented it though was kind of weird because it started out with Miyamoto for a while, and he was talking with the translator, and that was good. But it was mostly about Ubisoft's shared partnership with Nintendo, which seems like it actually would have made more sense at Nintendo's presentation, being we have third parties, they love us, it's okay. But in Ubisoft, it seems sort of weird. And then they showed all this gameplay, and they were walking us through it, talking about it, explaining what was going on. And then they showed a trailer after the game, which I feel like they should have opened with and just been here's the trailer, check out this cool gameplay, what's going on. Then had Miyamoto, then have somebody come back to the gameplay and explain. I don't know, just the flow of it kind of was weird. But the trailer was super cute. They had the Rabbids launching through the air. They're dressed up as Peach, Mario, Luigi. It looks cool. Looks like a neat game. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. That's probably the most unique reveal besides A Way Out from EA. This is probably the most unique game I've seen so far. But anyways, then they went right into it. Assassin's Creed Origins, which we saw first little glimpse of yesterday at was it EA? I think EA had some. I don't know. Now I'm totally blank. No, Microsoft. What am I saying? Microsoft. Anyways, it is still Egypt as it was yesterday. Coming out October 27th. I don't know if we got a date yesterday, so that's cool. Very open, varied environments. They went through pyramids, little villages and towns. There was it looked almost like a swamp, but obviously it must be the Nile. There was tons of different animals. We had lions and tigers and bears, alligators. What I mean by that is crocodiles, hippos. There was a hippo fighting a crocodile. That looked cool. It just looked really sweet. And then we got to see a little glimpse of them showing how they were going to approach this new, hunting through this new area to take out somebody. I guess assassinate somebody. And they showed the hawk thing, which we saw yesterday, where they're flying over, and the hawk, you can get a third-person perspective. Kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 5, where you kind of mark targets. And you're okay, I can see what's going on. I can see the enemy's movements, how I want to approach this. But it looked really cool. The areas were very spacious, and it looked like there was a lot of options for how you approach the situation. I can't wait to watch more of that gameplay later. I really didn't get to see much of that. But the trailer was really cool, and actually got me more hyped than the trailer yesterday, which was just kind of showing more gameplay. This seemed like it was just exploring like the feel of Assassin's Creed Origins, and feels awesome. So I'm super pumped. I'm actually more pumped than I was before. I love the Assassin's Creed games, but I feel like the story has kind of gotten less and less interesting over the years. But they did take a year off to kind of reapproach these games and try to make them more interesting again. I hope they brought the story back into that centerfold as like, you know, really the core aspects of those games. Oh, that bug is driving me crazy. You probably can't see it on the film because my camera sucks. But anyways, then we jumped into The Crew 2, and I could not figure out for the life of me what this game was, because it starts off and there's like just cars like driving, like racing. I'm like, all right, maybe this is I forget what I thought it was, but I didn't think it was The Crew. Because then it jumps into like a plane, and the planes are racing, and then there's boats, and then there's an actual like official racetrack with like racing cars. I don't know what they're called, but it looks really cool. It looks awesome. Leading into the next one, we finally saw some more Fractured But Whole South Park, and it looked really funny. It reminded me a lot of the other trailers we've seen, so it still looks as funny as we've seen. Coming out later this year. I think it was delayed like a full year. Loved the first one. I think they really just decided that the second one needed more time to be fleshed out to be as amazing as it could be. I'm really hoping that's the case. The first one was so much fun. I can't wait to play this one. It looks really funny. Just like a living South Park game. But anyways, next. This creepy like video, like live action video called, it was Transference. And it was a lot of like, they were like, oh, at Ubisoft, we found all this old VR technology and study that had been done, and it was all done this like weird 80s throwback. The technology in the video all looked kind of old. The film quality looked kind of old. It had Frodo Baggins. What's his name? Not Shia LaBeouf. Frodo. The actor who plays Frodo was in it, but I don't know what it is. I have no idea what Transference is. But totally forgot about it 10 seconds later, because they led into this amazing CG trailer. Pirates going at it. They open up underwater. There's like, you know, this woman in a dress, and she's just like floating, super eerie. I get super creeped out by like deep water and like, oh man. Ugh. But super just awesome spectacle of CGI. And then it kind of like zooms out, and you kind of get the feeling that we might be going like back in time a little bit, like a few minutes. And these two ships are bearing down on each other. One's a pirate ship. They go at it, sinks the one. Then two other ships show up to sink her, and it's just an awesome thing. And then find out that the whole time, I don't know, I can't remember if Seal was the original person who sang the song. That song is like, what if I gotta survive unless... They had like this creepy cover of it where it was like super slow. It's like, we're never gonna survive unless... It was just, I can't believe I just did that, first of all. But watch the video. Super creepy, super awesome. And there was just like gold floating in the water. Anyway, so then I was like, man, they can't top like how awesome that CG trailer was. And they showed us the game. So they showed us gameplay. They're building on... which team was it? Damn it, I wish I could remember. They're building on the Black Flag ship combat. They essentially ripped that out and are essentially, in theory, enhancing that even further into its own game, Skull and Bones. I don't know how deep it goes, but they showed us this 5v5 mode where it's, you know, 5 versus 5 ships, very different style of speeds. It reminded me a little bit of For Honor, where like there was a lighter but probably faster, I'm assuming, and maybe more powerful, unique benefits to each kind of ship. And the goal isn't to fight the other ships, it's to get treasure. But, you know, you get treasure from sinking other ships and just, like, competing for treasure that's in the water. And then other things come into play, like ships at the end try to attack whoever has the most treasure. There's defensive plays where you, like, sacrifice one ship to... And it looked cool. It looked really badass. And it just came out of nowhere. Like, I haven't heard anything about this. Really exciting. I love the ship combat in Black Flag. I'll be curious to see if I love it as much when that's all there is. I love Black Flag because you got on and off the ship. It just felt so dynamic. But I mean, I've been really enjoying 5v5 with Rainbow Six Siege. So if this is kind of a game where you can really kind of start getting into it, it looks beautiful. The water, the ships themselves, everything looks amazing. I can't wait to see it in person. Super cool. I had no idea. Skull and Bones. Yeah, really excited to see where that goes. Then I have written down spaceship game. oh my god, the spaceship game. So they had a game that at first kind of reminded me of No Man's Sky, just with like the artistic direction and stuff. And then there was like a ship, and they showed them holding like a little toy ship and clipping something onto the ship in real life. And in game, it appeared, and I immediately was like, Skylanders Disney game where you just like have to buy all these parts, and that might still be the case. We'll get to that in a second. But it was cool. Showed they're flying around doing different stuff. I didn't really see much about how the game works because they were showing off like all the different ways you can customize the ships. They were like on an ice planet, and they're like, "Oh, your ice weapons are useless," and he like takes it off, puts on a fire weapon, then destroys everybody. Looked neat. Coming to like all sorts of consoles and stuff. So excited to see what that is. They did mention you can get either digital or physical versions of these ships to do stuff. But do we have to buy those? I mean, it's really cool, and I love the idea that like I love the interaction between physical real world and games. I think that's amazing. But I don't want it to turn into one of those things where it's like, oh, you're missing that $10 part, like, that's really good, like you should buy that, and all of a sudden you spend like $300 on this game. We'll see. Really cool concept. I like that they're trying something a little different. I just hope it's not a cash grab like Skylanders was, which I think was also Ubisoft. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Anyways, neat though. Neat concept. And the developer seemed to have a genuine passion for toys. He went into his little thing about, he's like, we grew up in the 80s loving like sci-fi and toys and games and stuff, and so neat. It was neat. I'm excited to see where that goes. I forget the name of it. What was it called? Damn it. I don't know. Then they quick showed off a Steep expansion with the tied into the Olympics. I guess that's pretty cool for anybody that likes Steep. I didn't get to try it out, so I don't know how much it's been received well. I think people liked it. Far Cry 5. So they finally showed off some Far Cry 5 gameplay right after showing a little trailer of a little bit more about the main antagonist. But they showed off some gameplay. It was cool. You were kind of going with there's this chick with you, and she's got a sniper rifle, and she's like or just like a high-powered rifle, and she's like, "Where do you want me?" And he aims up like at the water tower, and she's like, "All right, I'll protect you from the water tower," and you kind of go off and do your own thing, and she just kind of gives covering fire. Seems like there was a dog too that offered a similar benefit that you could, I don't know how much you can command the dog. Looks like you'll have a little more interaction with how you advance upon different objectives with how you interact with NPCs around you, which sounds pretty sweet. Gameplay otherwise looked very Far Cry 5-ish, but I have to admit it was kind of weird seeing it in like a Midwest town and not like Indonesia. It was just bizarre, but it's cool. Excited to see more Far Cry 5 as we I think that's coming out later this year. Really excited though. What else? Oh my god! So they close out with huge CGI reveal of Beyond Good and Evil 2, and this is one where I wish we could have heard the crowd during this presentation as soon as you realize, because there's one point where he's talking to it's clearly Pig, not the one that we all remember from. So I never played Good and Evil 1. I've like seen it a couple times. I know how much it was loved, but I never played it. But I know that Good and Evil 2 has been one of those, it's literally up there with Half-Life 3 with like, it's never coming out, why we loved it so much. But even like less likely because Beyond Good and Evil was commercially not a huge success. It's beloved by all who played it, but like didn't really sell that well. Anyways, CGI trailer was really cool. Very reminded me a lot of kind of sci-fi from the 90s, like Fifth Element. And it was a lot of towering skyscrapers, but also kind of Mayan is the best way I can think to describe it. And it just looked really, really unique and cool. And the whole personalities of all the characters they showed off were really cool. Looks amazing. I can't wait to see gameplay. Didn't sound like they had any for us at the conference. It sounded like they were going to show off some of the areas that they've been working on. But really excited. Just don't know when that's coming out. Just like this is the official reveal. Crazy news. Let me know what you thought about that. Obviously, that's their big one. That's crazy. I know a lot of people are probably super pumped. I'm excited only because I know how much the first one how much people loved it. So I'd love to find out more about the game and get a chance to play a newer one. So really exciting. Anyways, you know what to do. I've got about 11 minutes till Sony does their conference. Can't wait for Sony. So let me know in the comments what you thought of all these announcements. If any I missed or what your favorite was. Like the video if you liked it, and dislike it if you don't like how I'm presenting this stuff. I know I'm hammering out E3 stuff every 2 seconds, so I don't really have a ton of time to go into detail. I'm kind of just jotting down notes and talking about what I saw. So if you'd like to see stuff in a different way, let me know. I want to make it happen. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a good one. Peace. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, you should totally think about subscribing. I've got videos coming out twice a week, and if you like this one, there's at least a chance you'll like some of the others that are very similar to this, so live dangerously. Let me know what you guys thought about the video in the comments and other videos you'd like to see. And finally, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Huntin for Games to keep up with all the latest stuff. See ya.